Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a while since I posted anything on crystals. It's let's just say there's been a lot of health, mental, emotional, and physical uh, things I've been having to go through with my Kundalini awakening and other things. Helping my student Miranda get through some stuff recently too. So I apologize for that. But I wanted to talk real quick about something that I don't feel is really ever talked about, at least not in good perspectives, and that's the use of THC to enhance spiritual work or training. Now, I'm sure there are some people that will view it as like impurity and um, making you more lazy and stuff in a sense, which is true. It definitely takes a certain type of mindset and a certain um, type of person and method to use it. But I found using, and I prefer personally tinctures or edibles. But if you use them, you'll find that it will actually, depending on what kind of you use, if it's a hybrid that's more of a sativa, that in my personal experience, it tends to make the body go more down the body. I mean, the energy go down the body more, and then the indica tends to bring the energy up the body more, which is kind of ironic and a bit confusing considering that um, effect wise, I find that sativa tends to, just like it's known for being more mentally stimulating. It's also tend to stimulate the crown chakra more, at least in my personal experience, and open it far more than normal. And the indica tends to do the opposite and work on the lower chakras, even though it pushes the energy upwards. So, just my personal observations and stuff. Whether it's true for other people or not, I'm not sure. My student Miranda is also starting to try this and see, but she just started, so she's not sure not how it's affecting her. But I'm not, and keep in mind, I'm not saying this so that um, people get high and can be, have an excuse to be lazy and just kind of doze off and stuff. I'm using this, and I've only been one or always been the type of person that while I have used substances like THC or like I've used what's it called salvia a couple times and stuff too. They're only, in my opinion, just like ayahuasca is, for uses to enhance yourself and your spirit and get in deeper touches with yourself and with nature and emotions and everything in the world and beyond the physical realms and stuff. Excuse me. And is only there as a stepping stool for you to grow and mature into the person that you're trying to be and improve the skills and abilities and stuff so that you can get to your goals and stuff. It's not just, in my opinion, a plant that, like any other plant, I'm a herbalist too, not professionally, but I've studied herbalism for, I don't know, 12 or so years now, roughly. And just like anything, the most potent ones, or at least the potent doses, I should say, of things that can be very, um, scary or very even lethal and dangerous, um, can also be extremely beneficial in the right, using it the right way. For example, in herbalism and in other naturopathic types, homeopathy, for example, they use snake venom and scorpion venom and stuff like that a lot for neurological nerve issues and stuff. And in the right dose, in the right concentrations and potencies and stuff, it can be very beneficial. But in the wrong dose or in the wrong potency and stuff, if you take it, it can kill you. So, being poison and stuff. So the thing that I always want to stress with people that I tell this to, because it's not something I usually try to talk about, since people might take it wrongly and just get high for the hell of it, or use it as a excuse to get high more. But I felt like talking about it today because it is something that, in my experience, dramatically enhances my awareness, my perception, my ability to all my sensory abilities, whether it be my physical five senses or the senses beyond that, like clairvoyance or clairaudience or whatever, um, all dramatically get heightened when I take some of the THC tincture. And just to give you an idea, I take anywhere between 3 droppers, and on the bottle it says dose is up to a dropper, by the way. But I take anywhere from 3 droppers, and have been times where I was so um, I was doing it so often that my tolerance was up to the point where I had to do anywhere from like 8 to 12. Even I think my highest was 14 droppers at a single time, in a single day for a single dose. And so it's incredibly high, and that's why I'm not recommending this type of thing to people. But I do want to put it out there that, like ayahuasca and other plants, salvia, for example, it can be used in a very beneficial way and can be um, used to as a tool for self enhancement and self development also, and is a very good one for enhancing the sensories and stuff, and kind of dozing off, not dosing off, kind of blurring the boundaries between the physical realm and the non-physical realms, so that it's easier to kind of get in between them and not be so focused on the physical realms and the materialistic aspects of things around us and whatnot, and kind of let your mind doze off and not be so serious or hyper or anxious and stuff all the time. So, in my opinion, there's many benefits to it, but you do have to be careful, and it will stir up, especially with high doses like this. It'll no doubt stir up um, very strong emotions, possibly traumas and other things. And so be aware that when you do this, there'll be times, and I still have times now. I've been doing this for like 8 months now, give or take, and well, consistently 8 months now, doing some hardcore shadow work and stuff. And even now, through everything I put myself through, and I've trained in other means, energetic and spiritually, pretty much every day for the past 6 to 8 years, roughly, especially the last 6 years. And so I put in a tremendous amount of work into um, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and energetically, and I have cleared a lot. But even now, I get times once in a while where I'm at such a high level and so detached from my body that there's times where I still get nervous and my ego wants to go, oh crap, what am I doing? I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I should panic and blah, blah, blah. And while it's not common for me to have nowadays and isn't frequent, when I do get it, I'm at a place now, though, because of how much training and stuff I've done, that I can just kind of blow it off, go, yeah, yeah, whatever, I know I can handle this, and just kind of calm down my mind and my thoughts and stuff and just relax. I usually shut my eyes for a sec, take a deep breath, and just relax my body so that my energy because my energy is still in my control. My physical body may be kind of distorted or not quite functioning properly due to the THC and stuff. Like it's harder to walk, obviously, with high doses, but my energy and my mental thoughts and stuff are still my own in my control. And so if I change my thoughts during it when I'm panicking, calm myself down, and then get my energy under control, it allows me to take over my body again, essentially, and temporarily, if I choose to, um, dissipate the effects of the THC and the high that you get from it, and in essence, kind of turn it off for a little bit if I need to, go somewhere or get up and do something. Sorry, get up and do something or whatever. I can kind of turn it off now because I've started to gain a certain level of control and awareness over my energy that I can still control the energy enough um, to where my physical body works the way I need it to. Also, if I need to go like get some water or something, and I'm not able to physically walk normally and stuff like it normally would be, incapacitated and stuff with this level of dose. But like I said, the reason I wanted to put this out there is that I do think it's helpful, but it's not something that's ever really talked about. If anything, I think that people say stay clear of and let me be um very blunt right now. I'm not saying go out and just get some THC in whatever form you prefer, but I'm not saying go out and just get some and start doing this and just start getting super high and seeing what happens necessarily or anything like that. And I'm not saying go out and get high in general. Um, like I said, these are for, um, in my opinion, for self development and improvement uses. But I do want this out there because I think a lot of the time people think that spirituality and energetics and self development stuff, in a sense, almost has to be like a purity thing. Like I'm a nun or something at a church and have put, people think, oh, monks are have taken a vow of celibacy and a vow of silence and this and that, and they have to be pure and blah 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 and whatever. And in my opinion, one thing to keep in mind is all plants in one way or another, and this goes to everything. I love crystals too. I have a ton of crystals around. And in my opinion, this just comes back to all crystals, all things, all plants have certain effects and certain uses. And if used properly and um, responsibly, then they can be, excuse me, um, they can be incredibly helpful and beneficial. But if used too much or used more on a unconscious or subconscious level, where you're not in control, you're just mindlessly doing it or using it to escape from something, then it's a whole nother issue, in my opinion. But if you're just using it to enhance your life, enhance the things that you're trying to build and strengthen, that'll increase your life and enhance it and make it better, then I think it's completely fine. Just make sure, and I know this from experience too, if you obviously use THC too often, whether it be smoking it in a bud or tincture or edibles or whatever, regardless, it always does carry a level of addiction with it, whether it be a serious addiction or whether it just be a superficial one, is arguable and just depends on various factors. Because it's not only the THC that can kind of pull you in if you're not careful and not conscious while you're using it, but also the fact that the kind of things that you'll go through and the kind of things that you'll most likely see and stuff, because especially at higher levels, THC is a hallucinogenic, and so there will likely be things that you'll see and things that'll freak you out and whatnot. But keep in mind that it can be addicting, to go into those type kinds of things and see those type of visuals and stuff that you might see, or experience the release of um, traumas or emotions and other stuff that might be released, and the like ecstasy and the joy and the, to me, because I love a good challenge and stuff myself. I love with myself to the extremes. If there's um, any kind of time where I need to push myself, push harder, dig down deeper and stuff, then it's also potentially a addiction to me in a sense too. And I say addiction in a very mild sense, not like a hardcore, like a drug addict or a drunk or something, but as in something that's easy for me to get tied up in and lose um, my focus and stuff a little bit, and just primarily focus on that because I like a good challenge too. But my point is be very careful, because these type of things, while can be very beneficial, and I've used it for the last 8 months in a very beneficial way, and it's completely changed my life, and the people around it, and like in the sense that it seems like a whole another dimension that I'm in right now, and how people act around me and stuff now. But at the same time, one, it's not something that most people will understand, and so if they see it or they hear about it, it may, me cause conflict or something. So it's not something I advise just telling anyone. But two, changes in yourself will lead to changes in your life and in other people, and therefore doing these kind of things in the way that I'm talking about also, especially because spirituality is one that is non-physical, and non-physical things or realms or aspects, anything that's non-physical, is always going to be extremely hard to put into words and describe. So if you try to involve somebody, um, or tell somebody what you're experiencing, or that you want them to join you, or just explaining what you've been through and stuff, it might cause some short-term conflicts and stuff until people start understanding or seeing things that they can comprehend, because it does stir up a lot of unnecessary emotions and questions and other things, since it's not something that you can just visually um, show somebody, or not something that's in everyone's personal experience already. So just be mindful about that and keep an eye on it. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to post on my YouTube channel and tell me. Otherwise, enjoy it, and I hope you found this interesting. Thanks. Bye.